presidential primary on March 1st. Lots of things that our voters need to know, and Quirk Town Clerk is here to talk a little bit about some of the complications that go along with the presidential primary. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
How are you today?
I'm excellent. I'm getting very busy in my office as we gear up for this election. We currently have absentee ballots available, so all of those folks who are out of state or will be out of state on March the 1st, they're ill and unable to make it to the polls, or actually if they have a restriction because of their religious beliefs, they all can vote absentee.
Great. But it's not just if you want to get it out of the way and say, I don't feel like going to the polls that day, can I vote absentee? No, there are specific things that you have to fit into to be able to vote absentee.
Correct. We have these guidelines that are set by the Commonwealth, so we have to follow them.
Indeed, and there are deadlines for that as well, so you cannot vote absentee up until the date of, when is the last day you can vote absentee?
February the 29th at noon, we close the absentee balloting, again, according to Mass General Law. Then we will be closing our office so that we can compile all this information and get it all ready to take to the polls the next day.
Exactly. So let's stay on the topic of absentee ballots just for a second. If for instance, someone knows they're going to be out of the country, or if they are ill, or if they're students who are registered to vote in their way to college, what's the procedure for them to request that ballot and then to submit it?
Thank you for asking that. Some folks think they can just pick up the phone and call us, and although we love talking with them,
here's my vote.
I can't do it over the phone. I have to have a written request by the voter with their signature on it. If it's a husband and wife that are going away, they're going to be in Florida, God bless them, it's with this cold weather, but they both have to then sign that letter just stating that they would like an absentee ballot. If they're around right now, they know they're going to be out of town on March the 1st, come on into the office. You can just vote right here. We'll put that ballot in a special envelope, and it will go over to the polls on Election Day.
Great. Now say I'm the parent and I have a son or daughter who's in college. Can I fill that form out for my son or daughter, or does the voter actually have to do that themselves?
That's the one case a family member can do that.
Okay.
When children are away at college and you want to help them out, yes, you can absolutely do that and fill out the form as the parent, and you sign on the bottom line.
Great.
And we will then send it out to your student.
Absolutely. So I would say that anyone who has questions, give a call over to the town clerk's office, and you and the staff will be happy to answer those questions.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Okay, so absentee ballots, we've done that. Registering to vote. The primary, of course, is on March 1st, and this is the election. The primaries are where your political party designation really does matter.
Yes, it definitely does. We have 4 ballots, and if you look online, you will see them under the town clerk's office. The 4 ballots this year are Democrat, Republican, Green Rainbow, and United Independent Party. But one thing that is very important for you to know is that if you are registered in any one of those 4 parties, you must take that ballot when you go to the polls, or if you're voting absentee. That's a definite. You cannot change that.
And that's the same with the regular election too, correct?
Correct. Well, really, it's really only primaries that you have to, well, you do have to choose too at the regular election.
Indeed.
If you're an unenrolled.
Exactly.
If you're unenrolled.
If you're unenrolled. And I think that's where some of the confusion comes in with the United Independent Party, because that is a legitimate party like the Republican Party, like the Democratic Party, like the Green Rainbow Party. And for so many years, people who are unenrolled, myself included, say, oh, I'm registered independent. And that can be kind of tricky when you're going to sign up for vote. Oh, independent, that's what I want. It's unenrolled is the one where you want to be able to have that which whichever the party that you want to choose at the time of election.
That's very true. Unenrolled is what is acceptable in Massachusetts. We do not have an independent party in Massachusetts. We have unenrolled. So that's really important, and I think that there's been some confusion because we have this new United Independent Party, and that is a party, and unfortunately it's a blank ballot. So the folks that are registered, and right now I have 128 people in the town of Barnstable that we're going to have to pull that ballot when they go to vote, and it's blank. They're going to have to do write-ins.
Indeed. So certainly a challenge, and that might serve as a reminder to everyone to check those party designations. And perhaps, so if say I'm a registered Democrat and I want to change to Republican, or I'm a registered Republican and I want to change to Democrat, or I want to go to unenrolled, what's the time frame in which I have to do that to be able to vote the way I want to on primary day?
You need to fill out a form, but before February 10th. February 10th is the last day that you can change your party designation or sign up to vote. And that's a cutoff that's 20 days prior to an election, and it's set again by the Massachusetts general law.
Absolutely. So the presidential primary on March 1st, what is on the ballot? It's essentially just the candidates for the President of the United States.
That's the key, but there's also all of your town parties. So if you have a town, if you're a Democrat,
Okay.
there's a town Democratic Party. If you're a Republican, there's a town Republican Party. Those folks are also on that ballot and have gone around getting signatures, and their names are on the ballot for you to vote for them to get them into their position.
Sure, a state committee woman or state committee man.
Yes, they're also on there. State committee woman and man are also on there. That's it, I'm pretty sure. Yes,
Great.
that is it on that ballot.
And then, of course, that really kind of kicks off the big swell of election season, presidential season. The presidential election years are always very busy. So the important, just to review everyone, the important dates to know right now: February 10th is the last day to either register to vote or change your party designation. March 1st is the presidential primary. Monday the 29th, February 29th, is the last day to vote absentee, and that day you'll also be closing the town clerk's office at noon.
Correct. And then we have 2 more elections just to keep everybody on tap of what's happening, and those will be in the fall. So this is the big push right now, and we are looking forward to everyone coming out to vote and exercising their rights to vote. We have, at this point in time, we have probably 32,000, over 32,000 voters right now in the town of Barnstable, and this is changing minute by minute as people are registering to vote online or coming in person. If you come in person, we'll complete the document with you right then and there, and we'll actually show you where you're going to vote and give you your polling place information.
Absolutely. So, and changing in voter status, if you moved within the town of Barnstable, do you have to change your registration? Do you have to update, or does that come with the census if the residents did their good job and turned in the census? How does that work?
If everyone turns in their census and they sign it and they tell us the change of address, we're going to take care of it. But if we don't get that, then we don't know you've moved. And in a lot of it, some people think they've sent it in and maybe there was a fluke and we didn't receive it, but always call us. We're right here. We're happy to talk to you. Just give us a call so we can let you know what your voter status is. And remember that the census, if you haven't sent in a census or we haven't received it, you're going to be listed as an inactive voter, and you're going to have to do extra paperwork the day of the election in order to get a ballot.
Indeed. Yes, and as someone who has gone through that process, it is kind of it's a pain.
It is.
So you want to make sure to turn in that census for
It
sure to be able to do that. Good thing it was a quiet day at the polls when I had to do that. So everybody, it happens to us all.
It happens.
So Ann, is there anything else about this upcoming election, upcoming presidential primary that you feel people should be aware of, or if folks have questions about the ballot or absentee? Again, the best thing to do is give the office a call.
Please give us a call. The best thing in the world you can do. You can always check your voter status then. If you have signed up for the United Independent Party, thinking that it's going to give you the opportunity to pick a ballot of your choice, please call us so we can straighten that out with you and get it taken care of before the election.
Absolutely. And we just encourage everyone to get out there and vote. It's
Yes.
important to do that civic duty. Ann Quirk, I thank you so much for joining us here on Barnstable this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ann Quirk is our town clerk here in the town of Barnstable. Again, the presidential primary coming up on March 3rd.